91 rules. When we actually originally looked at wet covers based on research that was done in British Columbia under what they call the MEN program, or it's the Mined Environment and Neutral Drainage. So that's where that terminology came in. Based on the comments that we got, and the big issue we had talked earlier about back in September, October, was the stability of the actual dam structure for impoundments, tailings impoundments, with the failures that have recently occurred at Mount Pauli and down in Brazil, and past failures that have occurred over the last 25 years. We took those comments seriously, and we said, okay, let's get rid of tailings impoundments, wet slurry types, where we don't have that impoundment structure, because there are, even though our rule requires like liner systems and leachate collection that adds additional design standards to like tailings impoundments, we chose to eliminate tailings with a water cover. However, repeatedly in the rule, in the comments that we received, people asked for best practices. And one of those best practices for eliminating acid rock generation is the use of a water cover. And what that does, it eliminates oxygen into the system, which is one of those ingredients that you need for the production of acid rock drainage. We, as a team, did not feel that is a best practice recognized worldwide. It's in the GARD guide, which is the Global Acid Rock Drainage Guide. It's back in the 91 versions of the old MEN publications. There are things that come out of the mine, such as waste rock, that you could use some type of temporary water cover to prevent that generation, and that's the direction that we chose here. So technically, that would be a wet mine waste unit. However, the rule requires those things to be dismantled at the end of mining. So that term is there. If I had to go back to change that, we would probably just call them mine waste units or something to that effect, and just get rid of the water, the wet, because there was a lot of confusion based on the comments that we received during this rulemaking and in past rulemakings. Does that help? Maybe?
I guess it's just, what is the principal distinction between, is it the fact that you're building a dam to hold water? Is that the distinction between a tailings and impoundment?
They're exactly the same, okay? And in the basis statement, I think there's a comment in there where we say a tailings impoundment is a wet waste mine unit, okay? So they're one in the same. However, with a new proposal, we have prohibited the use of water covers, slurry-type tailings that use a water cover. That was the big issue, the failure. That would be one of those worst-case scenarios where you had a failure of a tailings impoundment structure. So we just chose to eliminate that. But we have not eliminated the use of a water cover as a best practice during operation to retard or eliminate the generation of acid rock drainage for like waste rock. That's the rock that doesn't have enough of a grade where they can take the minerals out, but you still have to do something with that waste rock. And depending on what type of mine you have, if it's an open pit, you're going to have a lot of waste rock generated. If it's a mine shaft or underground workings, you're going to have a smaller volume of material that you have to deal with, but you still have to deal with it. And you still have to deal with it in the best way that you can to prevent those things, such as acid rock drainage, that can cause problem for you during operation and down the road.
It seems to be more material that is being stored.
As a generality, yes, you could say it that way.